Hello everybody, welcome to the Circuit de Catalunya here in Barcelona for round 6 of the Ferrari Challenge Europe season for 2025. You join us in preparation for the Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli and Pirelli Am race, which will feature some 24 cars mixed across the two classes of Pirelli and Pirelli Am. The Pirelli drivers with the red strip across the top of the windscreen, the Am drivers with the white strip across the top of the windscreen. So allow me to formally welcome you once again to Barcelona then and the Circuit de Catalunya. It completes the second third, if you like, of our calendar for 2025. Our double header, if you like, in Spain, where at the end of June we were in Valencia, but now mid-July here we are in Barcelona. Before we head off to the Ardennes region of Belgium and Spa-Francorchamps, before the final round, round 8, which is taking place at the Mugello circuit in Italy between the 21st and 26th of October, and will also form the Finale Mondiale event there as well. Very much looking forward to that. Track temperature right now is 49 degrees. Air temperature is 31 degrees. And there is just a flutter of wind around just to take the edge off the heat, but it is really, really warm here in Barcelona. Now, in Valencia, what a weekend this young man had. No, not the team boss with the headphones on, but Jasin Ferati, who's sitting inside the Emil Ferrari racing car. He's put it on pole position here in Barcelona as well with a 141.244. And the best of the Pirelli Am drivers is this young man, David Gosner, driving the number 50 car. And he was the best of the Pirelli Am drivers and quicker than a lot of the Pirelli drivers. So David Gosner is a Pirelli Am driver. Of course, Jasin Ferati is a Pirelli driver. Difference between the two categories you'll identify from the graphics and also the top of the windscreen. Pirelli is red, Pirelli Am is white. There's the Richard Mille safety car, which will be leading the cars away on their formation lap. As always, a rolling start for the Ferrari Challenge. And right now, let's take a look back at what happened in Valencia. The Circuito Ricardo Tormo then. Michael Verhagen did a great job for Am qualifying. Doing a brilliant job for Pirelli qualifying, though, was Jasin Ferati, who managed to see off Felix Herziger and his challenge right at the start of the race. And Nobuhiro Amado found himself pointing in the wrong direction. He was able to recover, thankfully, and Hendrik Viol in the purple and yellow colours. And, well, Felix Herziger under real stress, but Jasin Ferati took the win in Pirelli. And then it would be time for race 2. Once again, Jasin Ferati qualified the car on pole position. So, therefore, all he'd got to do was pick up P1 going into turn number 1. Felix Herziger again would try and go around the outside, but there was nothing doing. Good moves from Max Mugelli right at the start of the race, and a number of drivers, including Henri Assi, taking a very wide line through turns 2 and 3. One of the Bitstrop brothers found the gravel. And there you can see Andrew Morrow putting on a good move as well. There was lots going on in the Pirelli and Pirelli Am races. Marco Zanassi having a torrid time of it as he collected Henri Assi. But it would be Jasin Ferati again to make it 2 out of 2 for the Pirelli drivers. You can see the heat rising from the tarmac here at the Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona. A number of spectators here to enjoy the race action from Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli. And as always, it's a busy place down there on the grid. David Gosner, the best of our Pirelli Am drivers, to the left-hand side of your picture right now. And all the drivers doing everything they can to try and keep themselves cool ahead of the start of the race. There's Hendrik Viola, points leader in Pirelli Am to the left-hand side. He drives for Scuderia Prague Racing. And so our camera takes its way down the grid then. Always interesting to take a look at the personalities. I also know the Ferrari factory driver that is Lilu Vudu is down there as well. She'll be joining us on the air for parts of the race this afternoon, but she likes to be down there and get in and amongst the action at the grid at the start of the race. Right now with my colleague Ludovica, let's go inside the Ferrari Challenge.
The parts and accessory team takes part in Ferrari Challenge events, providing direct support to teams and drivers. For the European Championship, the team travels with 2 motorhomes specially equipped as mobile warehouses carrying to complete stock of spare parts for the 296 Challenge. The team is present at the circuit from Wednesday to Sunday throughout the event. During this time, they are fully operational and ready to promptly deliver any requested materials. In the event of an accident, they work closely with the teams to quickly identify and supply the necessary spare parts list to repair the car and get it back on track as soon as possible. Thanks to the experience and expertise gained in the field, the parts teams also offers technical support, helping teams accurately identify the most suitable components for each repair.
That was a wishbone being taken out of the shelf. I know that much about racing cars, you know. It was a wishbone, I'm sure of that. Well done to our team from the spare parts department of Ferrari, who do a fantastic job. So there you can see final stages of preparation for Quinn Vetlesbach, who qualified with a 142.813. 142.813. There is David Gostin. I've mentioned him more than once. He's the best of the AM drivers. And he's going from P3 on the grid, but P1 in class. Hendrik Viol, who has got a new race suit for this weekend. I haven't asked him about the significance of that, but I need to, because Hendrik has got a brand new race suit for this weekend. He is P2 in the Pirelli AM drivers. There's Felix Herziger, who's going from P2 for our Pirelli drivers. I remind you once again, sorry if it bores you, Pirelli drivers have got the red strip across the top of the windscreen. AM drivers have got the white strip across the top of the windscreen. So there we have it, and there's 24 drivers across the 2 categories. We're going to be hearing from Franco Girolami in just a moment, the Radici Automobili Sanassi Racing Ferrari Challenge driver.
I am Franco Girolami from Argentina, 33 years old. Wow, it's just amazing. I feel like a Ferrari Formula 1 driver. We are here in Barcelona in the first race. For me, the Ferrari Challenge Europe is amazing. It's the dream come true to be here in the Ferrari world, in the Ferrari family with Marcialetti and Sanassi. For me, it's amazing. The ambient, the atmosphere inside the paddock, the car, the teams are very professional. I am so impressed with the level of the driver and the team. 296 is amazing. It's a very nice car. For me, for myself, it's a very nice opportunity. Very happy with the car and I feel very confident. It's amazing. Just to be inside the Ferrari is the dream come true. With Marcialetti, with Sanassi, they believe in myself. They give me the confidence to put me in the car. So I am so grateful. For this opportunity, I will try to do my 110% to put the team in the correct place. So that's it. I show the Ferrari races here in Barcelona.
He was good with the clapperboard as well. Did you notice that? Bit of skill there. That was good to see. We're going to be heading for our 30-minute plus one race, 30-minute plus one lap race in just a moment. Here is the circuit in full for you, the very technical circuit to Catalunya here in Barcelona. 4.6 kilometers, 14 turns, 6 left, 8 right-handers. And in these temperatures, it's very, very difficult to make this track work. We saw with the weather conditions that we had just at the beginning of the race, just how hot the tarmac is going to be. We'll bring you the grid in full in just a couple of moments then. Big grid of 24 cars across our 2 classes. Pirelli drivers are in the Cars with the red strip across the top of the windscreen are Am drivers with the white strip across the top of the windscreen. You can see them all weaving from side to side. It seems almost innocuous that the cars are weaving from side to side to generate temperature into the tyres when it is so warm. But of course, no tyre heaters are allowed in the Ferrari Challenge, so they've got to physically get those tyres up to temperature if they can during the course of this warm-up formation lap. Here comes the starting grid from back to front. Martin Havas and Armin Arifpour, they're both Am drivers on the 12th row of the grid. On the 11th, it's Otto Blank and Rafael Duran. Then we see David Akabadze and Herbert Guys. Herbert Guys perhaps out of position there on row 10. P18 for Hanno Laskowski, P17 for Andrew Morrow, another driver perhaps out of position. Danilo Del Favero, Angelo Fantana go from P16 and 15. Then it's Nobuhiro Imada. Max Mugelli is the first of our Pirelli drivers. We see P13. Vincenzo Scarpetta going from P12. Then it's Michael Verhagen alongside him. Marco Zanassi, and a welcome back to Dylan Medler from Miami. And then we see Franco Girolami and Björn Grossman. They are P8 and P7 on the grid. Quinn Veitlis back and Hendrik Viola, P6 and P5. To the second row of the grid, where we find Gilles Renman and David Gosner. And then going from P2, it's Felix Herziger, who will be chasing Jasin Ferati, who will be going from pole position once again in the Ferrari Challenge. He's in a sweet spot of success, having taken 2 race wins in Valencia. Will he make it 3 out of 3 in Spain? We'll see.
Another great pole position in the books. I think it was a mega lap. The second one was a little bit unnecessary to do, but anyways, I'm quite happy and looking forward for the race.
Thank you so much, Jasin Ferati. Then delighted to welcome Lilou Vadoux alongside me. We'll speak to her in just a moment. We'll get the race start underway. Not to put her under any pressure, she'll put me under pressure. So we'll get the race start underway. First of all, Ferrari factory driver on air with us. Fantastic stuff. On board with Hanno Laskowski then. All the drivers on this formation lap, what they need to do is line up in side-by-side grid formation. They have to run through their grid boxes on the rolling start for the start to be deemed an acceptable one. And it is the job of the Richard Mills safety cars to stack them all up, as you can see. That will disappear into the pit lane, being driven by Antonio Tamburini this weekend in the Ferrari Challenge. And we have 30 minutes plus 1 lap on the board for this Trofeo Pirelli and Trofeo Pirelli Am race in the reconfigured circuit to Catalunya. Then the Richard Mills safety car peels off into the pit lane. 1 turn to do before the drivers will see the lighting gantry. You can see Jasin Ferati is champing at the bit to get going here. But they have to be side by side, then run through the grid boxes. Is Felix Herziger going to get the run on him going into turn number 1? Lights to the top of the screen for you. I would have said that that's a start that might be under investigation by race control as they drag race now down into turn number 1. Can Jasin Ferati deny us? David Gosner with a blistering start for an Am driver. Felix Herziger trying to get to the inside of Jasin Ferati, runs a bit wide, and Dizzy pick up an advantage through shortcutting that turn. That will be looked at by race control. David Gosner almost up into P2. We can see on our message screen that the start is under investigation already. Quelle surprise, I'm tempted to say, because it looked a bit messy to me from our Pirelli and Pirelli Am drivers. I think as Dylan Medler has been tagged and is in the gravel. That's 2 cars in the gravel. That's going to be a safety car, and not even 1 lap completed. But Felix Herziger was leading this race. The question is whether he was leading it as a consequence of the advantage he was able to take. I think it is Vincenzo Scarpetta that caught with Dylan Medler, and those 2 are out of the race. And Dylan has come here all the way from Miami to compete in the European Ferrari Challenge, which he does very, very often, and it will be a torrid start. We do get a safety car. Now, at long last, I can say hello to my dear friend, Ferrari factory driver, Lilou Vadoux, who is alongside me here. That was a bit of a mucky start, wasn't it?
That was, for sure. Hello, everyone. Yeah, for sure, it's never easy to do a really easy start when you are a 24 car like that. You saw on the grid, you are behind the other car, you don't see, sometimes you want to overtake and you don't see another car in front, so sometimes it's a little bit the mess, like that was no, but I I mean, it's a race, and it's never easy to have nothing when you are 24 car in the same category to fight for the same thing.
This guy's had no luck as well. Marco Zanassi, he's out of the race as well. So we're behind the safety car. We've got 2 cars that are going to have to be recovered right now. And just while everyone lines themselves up and gets themselves back into order again, just going to say congratulations to you, taking a win at Le Castellet, I believe with a former Ferrari Challenge driver, Custodio Toledo, who I used to speak in North America. Is that right?
Yes, that is right. we won in Le Castellet in LMS with Custodio Toledo, who did the Ferrari Challenge a few years ago. Honestly, it's nice because you have a good story from the Ferrari Challenge to know a victory with the GT3. So it's always nice to have a story like that with a guy who have a small car.
What was it like to win there? Must be particularly special for you.
For sure, that was special for me because that was the home race of the year. So it's always special to win at home. But yeah, honestly, I was super happy because we did a good job together, and we were able to win. So that was nice.
A point you made that I want to pick up on is the fact that Custodio Toledo, and I want to highlight you, I don't want to highlight him, and he'll forgive me for that. But it does come from the Ferrari Challenge, and we are seeing now so many drivers that are using the Ferrari Challenge as perhaps as a stepping stone to other GT3 racing or endurance racing or whatever, which proves how valuable this is in the racing ecosystem.
No, for sure. No, we see a lot of drivers from Ferrari Challenge come to GT3 or même prototype. So that show is a really nice category with a good fight, 24 cars. So you have to prove what you do when you are in this category with exactly all the same cars.
Yes.
And this is something difficult when everyone have the same car to win. So I think it's really a good car to be, I mean, close to the GT3 because it's really fast car, the Ferrari Challenge. The lap time is super close to the GT3, so I think it's a good school championship.
Just looking at the replays of this start here, Lulu, I mean, that was David Gosner was almost welded to Jasin Ferati right at the start of this race. And as you can see, a few drivers had to take to the runoff area, just avoiding the gravel. But it's here that I think, arguably, Felix Herziger got something of an advantage there, didn't he? Which is race control will look at that and they'll deem this perhaps an unsatisfactory start. And I know you've been working in race control as like a driver advisor as well. They have access to so much data and so many more screens than even we do in broadcast, so they can see everything, can't they?
For sure, they can see everything from the car to all the camera in the track. So honestly, I think everything will be under investigation. And for sure, they say that the briefing, if you have a gain of time on the track in the exit of T2, you have to take the small line on the left of the T2 and rejoin the track at T3. So I don't know what will be the decision, but they clearly said to the briefing they have to respect this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lilu. We'll speak some more to you, let you have a breath for a moment. I know you were down there on the grid offering your advice to a number of the drivers before the race even got underway. You can see the recovery operation is continuing. Race control will look at it. They will determine everything. Just while we have this moment behind the safety car, remind you that every opportunity for you to be part of the Ferrari family and be part of the Ferrari Challenge as well. If you want to ask us a question or interact with us, then you can do that via our social media networks. On Facebook, we are Ferrari Races. On Instagram, Ferrari Races, and on X, you'll find us at Ferrari Races. Don't hesitate to be in touch with us. There you can see Giacomo Altoe right at the back of the Emil Frey garage. Giacomo Altoe, of course, Trofeo Pirelli champion in Ferrari Challenge from last year. Now acts as a driver coach to Emil Frey Racing and advisor, and also racing himself, but another driver that used the Ferrari Challenge as something of a stepping stone up into other racing activities. So 24 cars in the Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli and Pirelli AM race. The race duration is 30 minutes plus 1 lap. Sadly, we are behind the safety car following incidents going on through turns 2 and 3. And yeah, we're going to be behind the safety car, I would think, for at least another couple of laps. And the Circuit de Catalunya here, Lilu, I have been saying, I think I'm not a racing driver. All I am is a mouth on a stick. Truthfully, it's a technical track. It's kind of tricky to overtake here, isn't it?
Yes, it's really a difficult track to overtake. I mean, you have a small straight. You
Yes.
have only this big straight, but the poem, the last corner is pretty fast. So you can be super close with the dirty air. So most of the time, it's not easy to be close and to be able to overtake at the end of the straight. And most of the corner are medium fast corner. So it's never a big slow corner, or you can go and brake hard. So yeah, I mean, we saw the race before. It's not easy to overtake, and for us in the LMS, for example, we cannot overtake. We stay behind in general.
Thank you, Lulu. We just saw, as we split the screen, that it's a retirement, regrettably, for Marco Sanazzi. So that means that we have lost Marco Sanazzi, Dylan Medler and Vincenzo Scarpetta from the very start of this Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli and Pirelli AM race. The order is Felix Herziger on track ahead of Jasin Ferati. Then it's David Gosner and Quinn Wiedlis back. And David Gosner is the leader in Pirelli AMs. Felix Herziger is the leader for Pirelli drivers. That is on track at the moment, and we have nothing to indicate that's going to change, or if it will change, we will bring that information to you as quickly as we can. So the cars now are just behind the safety car. Björn Grossman, you can see there, who's running P6 in class. That's P8 in the race overall. Safety car then with the lights still on and the yellow flag still waving away as we go into the Ineco MP Racing, the MP Racing garage. I can see with Massimo Pepe, I think, with the headphones on, who's in charge of MP Racing. Of course, their driver, David Gosner from CDP MP Racing, is leading in Pirelli AM. And it's Felix Herziger for the Ineco Reparto, of course, a Ram team that's leading in Pirellis. Björn Grossman was blisteringly quick right at the start of the race, and Martin Havas was blisteringly quick right at the start of the race as well. But that's counted as 0, as already the first 10 minutes of this race has gone behind the safety car currently. So the Circuit de Catalunya here in Barcelona and the Ferrari Challenge. Last time we were here, I think I am right in saying, was 5 years ago, I remember. He was nodding her head to say yes. And then giving me a rude gesture. Charming. Now, here you can see the progress chart on the left-hand side of your screen. Look at Nobuhiro Emada up 5 places. Andrew Morrow up 6 places. Number of... it's easy to make up places when you've got cars going all over the place and skidding around and off the track, I suppose. I'm not taking anything away from those drivers that did do a good job in terms of overtaking right at the start of the race. But we'll see how long we have this safety car. Now, Lilu, if I can come back to you, please. You've been in this situation where you're in your racing car, safety car is out. What do you do? What do you do as a racing driver to keep focused, to keep concentrated?
Honestly, it's never easy because today is hot. So it's this moment, I think it's super hot on the car. You watch what happened on the track. You try to help the team to say maybe in few laps it will be a safety car or in 1 lap.
Yep.
And when they will know it will be safety car in this lap, you warm up a little bit the tires, the brake, and get ready to be back on the race.
I said right at the start of this race, when you could see cars weaving from side to side, it seems almost innocuous, doesn't it, with the track temperatures as high as they are, but you still have to get those tires into the operating window because they're not warm enough yet, are they?
That depends how you feel the car in the when you wave. If you feel it's little bit difficult, the front is not ready, or the rear, you have to do it. And if you have the information of the temperature of the tires and the pressure, you can see if it's ready or not ready to go. And after, it's feeling and the information you have from the car.
So it's very much a feeling thing. You can actually feel it through the steering wheel when they're up to temperature and when you're ready to really go.
Yeah, it's like when you prepare a qualification lap. Before go, you wave to warm up and you know if it will be ready for this lap or if you have to wait a little bit and continue to prepare. But here it's different case because you have to be ready for the restart.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Lilu. Really appreciate your words of wisdom and guidance as we get ready to go back. I think there was just one car to be recovered and then the safety car would be or will be coming in, but that's complete conjecture on my part. We're going to get at least another lap behind the safety car because the cars have just crossed the timing line right now. Now, the safety car can still come in as long as they are advising the teams and drivers in time, and the lights will go out on the safety car and the safety car would come in. But the safety car period is under investigation right now. So that's an interesting one. We're seeing that on our screen here. Safety car period under investigation. Okay. When more news comes of that, I will inform you as you watch the car of Danilo Del Favaro, I think it was, the Penske Sportwagen, who's runs that camouflage type livery on his 296 Challenge car. We're riding on board, and there you can see safety car period under investigation came up on your screen as well. There's still lots going on out there on track. I was really rather hoping that with just one car to be recovered that we would be able to go racing, and sure enough, I was right. It's not very often that happens. The safety car will come in at the end of this lap. I've just seen that come up on my screen, so and there it is on yours and ours as well. Safety car will come in at the conclusion of this lap and we'll go back to racing again. Felix Herziger from Jasin Ferati, from David Gosner, then Quinn Wittlisbach and Hendrik Viol. So it's now that if you're going to follow the advice of a top Ferrari factory driver like Lilu Voodoo, you'll be now thinking about getting your tyres into the temperature window that you need to go racing once again. So it's going to be a dash for cash in this race because very nearly half of the race distance or duration has been done behind the safety car. So that means that those drivers that want to do some overtaking have got a much smaller frame of time to be able to do that. Felix Herziger will stack them all up. It's his responsibility to control the pace, and they're almost at crawling pace when he gives it 100% on the loud pedal, when he accelerates, but he has to stay accelerated. You can't go, lift, go, lift. Once you go, you've got to stay gone. And he's holding it out for a long time here. Those behind him will be champing at the bit to get going, but they're trying to anticipate when Felix Herziger, as he goes now. Jasin Ferati, I think, anticipated that really well because he's stuck with him. They've left David Gosner a little bit. So here we go. Let's go back to racing. Ferrari Challenge, Trofeo Pirelli and Pirelli Am. We're live from the Circuit de Catalunya here in Barcelona as we cross the timing line, and once the cars are past the safety car line, overtaking can happen. Into turn number 1 we go. And we are back to racing with just under 15 minutes plus 1 lap. The speed can by Faye as the cars rattle past at very nearly 270 kilometers per hour. So Felix Herziger continuing to lead. Jasin Ferati, David Gosner is in lead in terms of the Pirelli Am drivers from Hendrik Viol, who's P2. That's the car center screen right now. The purple and yellow colors of Hendrik Viol, who leads in the Pirelli Am Championship. But he's being chased very, very hard here, but not by a driver that's in the same category as him. So he can breathe a sigh of relief as Felix Herziger tries to stretch his legs over the driver that's P2 at the moment. That's Jasin Ferati. Michael Verhagen also trying to make moves as well. He's currently running P4 in the Trofeo Pirelli Am class. He, of course, had a fantastic time of it in Valencia, taking 2 pole positions, 2 fastest laps, 2 race wins. Finds himself, dare I say it, languishing in P4 at the moment. He'll be far from happy about that. Great to see Andrew Morrow up to P5. He had a brilliant start of the race. Hendrik Viol then sets the fastest lap for Trofeo Pirelli Am with a 2:28. Don't read too much into that because times will come tumbling down once the safety car period has been forgotten and completely out, of course. So Felix Herziger with 4/10 as into the Scuderia Prague garage we go right now, and we can see all the data being looked at. I think that's Claudia, who is Hendrik Viol's partner, looking on, seeing what they're doing. And okay, a drive-through penalty for jump start and causing a collision for the leader in the Pirelli Am race, David Gosner. Now, I spotted, and I hope I wasn't the prophet of doom for him, but at the start of the race, he was almost in the gearbox of Jasin Ferati, Lilu.
Yes, we saw at the start he hit a little bit the rear of the car in front of him, and for sure that was normal. He took a penalty because I think he go maybe 2 or 3 seconds before the others. So at the end he didn't gain any advantage because he hit the other car in front, and we had safety car after. So at this moment it's not easy for him, because if that was not safety car, maybe he was able to do a gap, and no, it's not the case because we are after the safety car. So I think it won't be an easy race for him, because if he have the drive-through to do more, after he have to come back on the fight and try to come back on the top. So it won't be easy.
No, with only 10 minutes to do it as well. Thanks, Lilu, very much there. So drive-through penalty for jump start and causing a collision for David Gosner. That critically takes him out of the lead of the Pirelli Am race, which elevates Hendrik Viol to P1. Nobuhiro Imada, great showing from Nobuhiro Imada, who's P3 in class at the moment, but will be to P2 in class. And then Michael Verhagen, who will be P3. So those all of the consequence of David Gosner picking up that drive-through penalty, as right now I think Jasin Ferati is not letting Felix Herziger get away with this. So Felix Herziger for Nico Rapato Corsa Ram, he's 4/10 ahead of Jasin Ferati. Now Jasin Ferati, young whippersnapper driver into the Ferrari Challenge this year. I first met Jasin Ferati when he was sim racing, and he's now in real world racing and doing a jolly good job as well for Emil Frey Racing in the Ferrari Challenge. He comes here having taken 2 wins at Valencia. He is going to want to unseat Felix Herziger, because Jasin Ferati comes into this race leading the Drivers' Championship in Trofeo Pirelli, and he wants to maintain that lead. Well, Felix Herziger sets the fastest lap for our Pirelli drivers. David Gosner with the fastest lap for our AM drivers. There's an additional point, of course, that is awarded to the driver that sets the fastest lap in the race. Nominally, David Gosner is leading, but of course, he has got a drive-through penalty to take. And just for clarification purposes, if I may, Lilu Vanu, once you've been told you've got a drive-through penalty, you have to take that within 3 laps of being advised?
Yeah, exactly. You have 3 laps to do it. After, I think he talked with the radio with the team, and maybe the team said continue to push until the last 3 laps.
Yes.
To do a small gap and to feel more free for after go again on the fight.
Thank you very much. Here's Nobuhiro Imada and Mikael Verhagen having a real battle here. Nobuhiro Imada, who races not only here in Europe, but also races in Japan as well. Does a lot of racing and is a very, very good Ferrari Challenge driver. He is being chased, though, by Michael Verhagen. So Michael Verhagen then, who is currently running P4, Nobuhiro Imada P3. David Gosner comes in to take his drive-through penalty. You can see the P on the left-hand side of your screen. That means he's come into the pit lane to take his drive-through penalty, and that's dropping him way, way down the order. There he is then as he makes his way through the pit lane. That must be the most frustrating walk of shame that you have to do, because you have a speed limit in the pit lane and that frustrates you because you just want to get back on it again.
Yeah, for sure. When you are on the race, you know you lost a lot of time because you passed maybe 50 seconds at 60 kilometers at the pit limiter full total, and you see all the cars pass on the left of you. So it's really difficult to accept, and now you have to come back on the fight and try to do the best to score point and do the maximum you can.
Thank you, Lilu. That is, of course, all you can do is just try and extract and maximize the points haul that you can get. But clearly, it must be so difficult and frustrating to see that fantastic start go awry. So it is Felix Herziger from Jasin Ferati. Then it is Quinn Veitlersbach, who is running P3. Great job being done by Quinn Veitlersbach, but he's under real pressure for this P3 place from Gilles Renmans. The Francorchamps Motors Brussels driver is all over the back of Quinn Veitlersbach like a poorly fitting shirt. He desperately wants this place. He wants to be on the podium. You can see the support and the encouragement inside the garages here. If that was worth a tenth or two, then Renmans would probably be by, but he isn't. Quinn Veitlersbach holding on to this P3 place at the moment. Then you can see the purple and yellow colours of Hendrik Viol, who is leading for our Pirelli Am drivers ahead of Nobuhiro Imada and Mikael Verhagen. So the safety car period is no further action after the investigation, which is good to see. You'll see that in a moment. In fact, there it is. So 7 minutes remaining, plus 1 lap of this Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli race from Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona. You can see just how hard the drivers try to find and make just the window of opportunity to make an overtake. But as Lilu Vadu alongside us, for Ferrari factory driver, advised that it's very difficult to try and find and provoke a mistake. Now, Armin Arifpour is picking up a time penalty of 5 seconds for track limits infringement. Now, the deal, as I understand it, Lilu, is you get 3 warnings, and on your 4th warning, then you're going to pick up a time penalty for track limits. And the thing is, surely that's even more difficult to manage, because towards the end of the race, your tyres, you've pushed them so hard. So to try and keep it within the white lines becomes ever more difficult. Yeah,
for sure. When you drive more and more with this condition, it's super hot today. So
yes,
for the tyres is the most difficult, honestly. In this track like this, Barcelona is one of the worst tracks for the tyres.
Okay.
It's really demanding. You have a lot of medium fast corners, like I said. So that's really demanding. And the tarmac is something special here. Most of the time here, it's better to have a good car for the race than for the qualification.
Yes.
And for sure, if you are on the fight and really close to someone, you have dirty air, and it's really easy to go out and to do track limit. So I think the tires, beyond the fight, beyond the other car, if you want to go to overtake, you have to be super close, and you lost a little bit of air, and you go track limit. And
everybody says to us that it's really hard to run in dirty air behind a car in front of you. What does that really mean? What's it like for you as a driver? How do you feel that?
I mean, I think it's one of the worst things, because really? You can be super close of someone and maybe 5 times faster, but you cannot overtake because you are close and you have the dirty air, and when you turn, yes, you lost a little bit the aero of the car. Right. So you lost a little bit the front, and you lost like 1 meter.
Right.
So you have to be slower than the car in front of you to be sure to stay behind. If you are super close, if you have the dirty air, you lost the front, and you go for sure a little bit more out than normal.
You describe it perfectly. Thank you so much. Right, let's continue with this battle then. Gilles Renmans and Quinn Veitlersbach. Now, Quinn Veitlersbach is another young whippersnapper. Car number 9 is under investigation for overtaking by going off the track. That's Danilo Del Favero, who is currently running P4 in Pirelli Am. Quinn Veitlersbach has been under enormous pressure from the Gilles Renmans Francorchamps Motors Brussels car, but he has sucked up this and defended really well. So Gilles is throwing everything at this to try and find a way by Quinn Veitlersbach, but he's been unable to do so thus far, and he's running out of time here. There's 3 3/4 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. Quinn Veitlersbach, then driver of the number 22 car, who's in a podium place at the moment. He wants to hold on to that. I would have suggested, it looks to me like Gilles Renman is the quicker of the two as he got to the inside now. There's racing room left by Quinn Veitlersbach. I think this is a move for P3 as they try and fight their side by side together here. Who is going to come out of this in front? He goes for a switchback now. Hendrik Viol is right behind him. He's leading the Pirelli Am race. He can ill afford to get involved in this because it's not his battle. He is in a different category. But I guess you're a racing driver. If you see a car in front of you, you want to be by it. So a lot going on here. We ride on board with Hendrik Viol right now. My goodness me. That was nip and tuck for a few corners there, and it's still going on. And who's that gone around? I think it's, well, both of them. Lilou, we've lost both of those drivers. There was a little bit of contact between them. We could hear the tyres squealing under protest, and that has ruined the race for both of them.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if they had contact or not, because this corner, it's really difficult for the tires.
Okay.
In particular, at the end of the race, it's really easy to spin. So I don't know if they have contact or not, but at the end of the race, it's pretty difficult corners.
Oh.
And for sure, they were super close on the fight, so maybe they had a small contact and he spun. And at the end, no, they lost both, I think, the race, because one is always out, I think, or maybe he go again, I don't know.
Well, Gilles Renmans has come into the pit lane. Quinn Veitlersbach, I reckon, is perhaps beached in the gravel. I don't know. Let's take a look in replay. I think Quinn was already spinning, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he go a little bit out of the lane on the left, and he go on the dirty track, and I think he lost the car at this place.
That's really, really, really unfortunate for those two drivers. But hey, motor racing is beautiful, but it can be pretty brutal as well at times, and that's precisely what's happened there. The incident involving cars 22 and 77 in turn 12 is under investigation, but from the camera angle that we saw, it kind of looked like Quinn Veitlersbach actually lost the back end of the car, and there was no assist there. Of course, race control will look at it, and they will be able to identify from all the data that they have and onboard footage that they have as well. In the meantime, we've got less than a minute plus one lap to do. I want to say a huge thank you to Lilou Vadoux for being alongside us here. I know you've got to rush now because you're on podium duties as well. They work you jolly hard, don't they? But thank you on behalf of all of us. We really appreciate you being with us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
So thanks very much. The Ferrari factory driver Lilou Vadoux then joining us on the Trofeo Pirelli and Pirelli Am race, where we have but 20 seconds and one lap to do before the end of this race. Felix Herziger, Jasin Ferati, Franco Girolami, of course, elevated to P3 as a consequence of Gilles Renman and Quinn Veitlersbach, and they're coming together. There is Andrew Morrow, who is P5, I think, in Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli Am. Hendrik Viol leading ahead of Nobuhiro Imada and Danilo Del Favro, but Danilo Del Favro's got a time penalty. Therefore, that would elevate Michael Verhagen and Andrew Morrow into the next places. That's the way it will look, I would suggest, come the end of the race. So there you can see Hanno Laskowski right in the middle of this mix as well, with Angelo Fontana right behind. Angelo Fontana driving car number 80. And we're on board with Hanno Laskowski right now. So time penalty now increased to 10 seconds for Armin Arifpour for quite a number of track limits. 8, I think, if we total them all up, which is pretty tricky. Hendrik Viol leading for Pirelli Am ahead of Nobuhiro Imada and Danilo Del Favro. It's Felix Herziger, Jasin Ferati, Franco Girolami. And we're about to start the final lap of this race. Just on cue, the graphics come up and tell us that Felix Herziger has started the final lap of this race ahead of Jasin Ferati and Franco Girolami. And then for our AM drivers, Hendrik Viol, Nobuhiro Imada, and then it will effectively be Michael Verhagen. Although Danilo Del Favro on track is P3, he of course has a time penalty. There's Hendrik Viol's partner then looking on inside the Scuderia Prague garage. If you think it's tough being in the car, racing the car and driving the car, it must be tough as being in the garages as well, where The teams and supporters and families, of course, they share in the emotions of delight and despair on occasions when things go wrong. So Felix Herziger had a torrid time of it relative to his results. He had such an unbroken run of success in the Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli, and he has righted the wrongs of Valencia. He got a brilliant start to the race and has never looked back from then. He's 1.7 seconds to the good. Franco Girolami is dropping down the order, which has elevated Björn Grossman up into P3. I don't know what's happened to Franco Girolami here, but he's dropping down my timing screen and your graphics on the left-hand side of the screen as well. So that was a Trofeo Pirelli podium. So whether it's some reason that he's stopped during the lap, that has elevated Björn Grossman into P3 for Pirelli, but no discounting the winner, Felix Herziger. He takes P1 ahead of Jasin Ferati P2. Now Hendrik Viol will round the final turn to take the win for our Pirelli AM drivers. Hendrik Viol, who was the bridesmaid in the championship last year, he's hoping to be able to seal the Trofeo Pirelli AM Championship. This year he's added another win to his tally. Ahead of P2 for Nobuhiro Imada, which is a brilliant drive. Michael Verhagen takes P3. Then it is Andrew Morrow. What a dramatic Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli and Pirelli AM race. My goodness me, there was so much going on in that. And when you consider almost half of the race was behind the safety car, my goodness me, when it got to racing, it was utterly, utterly compelling. Well done to Felix Herziger. He'll be pleased with that. He banked a P4 and a P2 in Valencia, but he's back to winning ways here in Barcelona. We're on board with Hendrik Viol here. And now we can see why Franco Girolami, I think he's got a deflated tyre. And that's the reason he dropped down the order. Thank you very much to our TV production colleagues for bringing us that. And we can see it again in replay here. What disappointment that must be for the driver of that Radici Automobili Zanassi racing team. Ivo Horn is team boss, Scuderia Prague. You could just see him to the left of the picture there. It's another victory for that team in their Pirelli AM drivers. As Felix Herziger, of course, wins for Trofeo Pirelli. It's Hendrik Viol that wins for Pirelli AM. What a race. Thanks so much to the Ferrari factory driver, Lilu Vadu, for being on air with us and giving us lots and lots of real proper racing driver insights as well into how to manage things, and that was really, really valuable. Really appreciate that. She'll be on trophy presentation duties right now, getting ready to present the trophies to our top 3 in each of the categories. Double the value, of course, with Ferrari Challenge, because we bring you a podium for Pirelli and a podium for Pirelli AM as well. That's it. Give it a rev for good measure to celebrate your success. Great to see Björn Grossman back on a podium as well, taking P3. And Max Mugelli very nearly on the podium as well. It's P4 for him. But Felix Herziger is the winner.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. It's his brother there, giving him his congratulations.
Enjoy, man.
We have had an eclectic mix of music tracks across the weekend here. Now, Hendrik Viol has got a new race suit. I'm convinced of that. I'm going to go and find out why. Right, here's confirmation of the classification then for Pirelli and Pirelli AM. Felix Herziger taking the win ahead of Jasin Ferati and Björn Grossman for Pirelli drivers. For the AM drivers, Hendrik Viol, Nobuhiro Imada and Michael Verhagen. They were ahead of Andrew Morrow and Max Mugelli. Then it would be Hanno Laskovski, the entertainer, Angelo Fontana, Danilo Del Favaro, he had a time penalty. Then it was Herbert Guys, Rafael Duran, David Akabadze and Otto Blank occupying the positions through to 15, with David Gosner following his drive-through penalty, Armin Arifpor, Quinn Vedlisbach, what a disaster, unfortunately, Martin Havas, then Franco Girolami, Gilles Renman, Marco Zanassi, of course, we lost earlier on, and Dylan Medler and Vincenzo Scarpetta, we lost right at the start of the race. I think I'm going for a lie down after that one, and that was only half race, given the safety car period, but nonetheless, terribly, terribly exciting, really, really enjoyable race. And we were only talking about it. What was it like to actually be in the race? My goodness me. We will hear what it was like for Felix Herziger, the Ineco Reparto Corsa Ram driver who wins for Trofeo Pirelli. He is with Ludovica right now.
Felix, congratulations. You are back on the top of the podium during a very hot race in a very technical track. After a chaotic start, you defend your position and you maintain your position until the end.
Yeah, it was a perfect start from us on second place. And in the first corner, we just avoided the collision because we were ahead, but we didn't know what the other guys are doing. So we stayed safe, and after that we were not sure about the pace because from qualifying there was a huge gap. We are still asking questions about this. However, we answered with a perfect car, fastest lap, and it was just incredible. So to bounce back after Valencia, now like this, I think we couldn't ask for more.
Thank you for your time and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
He's very articulate, isn't he? As well as being very, very good. Felix Herziger. We'll also hear from Hendrik Viola, and if Ludovica is listening in to me, maybe she'll ask about whether the new colour combo on the race suit has got anything to do with his success. Just saying. If you don't, Ludo, I will do it, that's for sure, when I go and speak to him after the race. So Hendrik Viola is the winner of Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli. And for Scuderia Prague Racing, let's hear from him right now with Ludovica.
Andrew, congratulations. Another important success for you. The best way to start this Spanish weekend. I want to discover with you how do you build your qualifying session and then your race.
Well, thank you first of all. As you see, I'm a bit sweating. Of course, the milestone was a good qualifying, quick time, and in the race we just wanted to preserve the tires to the end like always, and the team did a great job. We had an unbelievable setup, good fights with other teammates, so I enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you for your time and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So as we were standing by for the race to get underway, the heat was going to be telling, that was for sure. Heat haze rose off the tarmac as the lights went out and we went racing. Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli and Pirelli Amstel. David Gosner almost into the back. In fact, he did make contact with Jasin Ferati. And that's why David Gosner would pick up a drive-through penalty for that. But Felix Herziger all the way around the outside of Jasin Ferati, and everyone else behind, well, it was all over the place for many of the drivers, and it was a real disaster for the likes of Dylan Medler and Vincenzo Scarpetta, who would find themselves, as they argued over their places, ending up in the gravel trap. And we rode on board with Hendrik Viola. There you can see that was the Dylan Medler, Vincenzo Scarpetta incident, which brought out the safety car for a very long time. Nobuhiro Imada and Michael Verhagen were having a brilliant battle, and it was a great overtake from Nobuhiro Imada as David Gosner took the drive-through penalty that I was talking about. Now, these two were fighting over P3. It was Quinn Vedlisbach and Gilles Renmans. Now, Quinn Vedlisbach loses the back end of the car, and unfortunately, that would take both the drivers out. I mean, it was hard fighting between the two of them. As you can see, the switchback there and the onto the curbs they would go, and they were all being chased by Hendrik Viola, but that was where Quinn Vedlisbach just lost the back end of the car. Gilles Renman had got absolutely nowhere to go, and it was a real disappointment for Franco Girolami, who was on for a podium, and then a deflating tyre at the back, as you could see, meant that his podium aspirations had gone away. Felix Herziger win for Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli, and Hendrik Viol would win for Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli Am. As he rounded the final turn, we ran his onboard camera as he saw the checkered flag unfurl. Ferrari Challenge, Pirelli, and Pirelli Am.
Enjoy, man.
So here comes the race statistics for you. Total overtakes in Pirelli 21, in Pirelli Am there were 9. Best progress Max Mugelli for Pirelli and Andrew Morrow for Pirelli Am. So we'll be heading up to the podium very, very soon, and of course, as I say, double the value for you because we bring you 2 podiums, one for the Pirellis and one for the Pirelli Am drivers. Here comes Björn Grossman back on the podium again. It's been a while, Björn. Great to see you back there, friend.
Second driver on the podium, Jasin Ferati.
Here comes Jasin Ferati, put it on pole position, but...
And the winner, Felix Erster.
Here comes Felix Erster then. Giorgio Sonagiotto, team boss down there. And Enrico Rapada, course of Ram, of course, will celebrate. They'll be on the podium as well. That really was the shortened version of the national anthem. Here's Lilu Vadu then to make the trophy presentation. First of all to Björn Grossman, who's in receipt of a few trophies. He's got a few on the old mantelpiece, you know. His Jasin Ferati receives P2. Our Ferrari factory driver that I'm delighted to say joined us on the air and really added some value to our program, as Felix Herziger receives his P1 trophy.
Now the Pirelli trophy presented by Lucio Vergani, Pirelli Motorsport Manager.
Pirelli trophy, Lucio Vergani then making that trophy presentation to Felix Herziger.
The driver on the first step of the podium. Please, all drivers on the first step of the podium.
So everyone gets together then for the photographs.
Okay, amazing.
Great photograph there.
Now, Lucio and the manager out of the podium, and we're ready. Okay.
Who's going to win the champagne race? Felix Herziger by some measure. Now, you've been getting in touch with us on social media, Ferrari On Air, our social media, where we love you to interact with us, whether it's at Facebook, Ferrari Races, Instagram, Ferrari Races, or X, at Ferrari Races. And we'll do our level best to answer your questions that you pose, one of which is what remedies and or tools do drivers use when temperatures are so high and they want to stay cool? Well, you might see that there's always brollies there from the teams ahead of the drivers getting into the car or being in the car. A lot of them use cool vests as well, to be honest with you, and that sometimes helps regulate the temperatures for our drivers. So trying to answer some of your questions that come through on social media. In the Drivers' Championship, though, which is critical right now, Felix Herziger is leading now by 2 points over Jasin Ferati. So that has changed on this race. That Felix Herziger goes back to the top of the Drivers' Championship ahead of Jasin Ferati.